Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session on Web Accessibility Fundamentals. My name is Mohammed Kadir, and today I will be walking you through the key concepts of making web content more inclusive and accessible for everyone. So, in today's agenda, we will be covering topics like what is web accessibility, web content accessibility guidelines, types of disabilities, common accessibility issues, the DOM tree and accessibility tree, tools and browser extensions. So, what is web accessibility? Web accessibility ensures that websites, applications, and digital content can be used by everyone, including people with disabilities. And the goal is to remove barriers that prevent equal access and interaction. Disabilities can affect how users perceive, understand, navigate, and interact with content. And accessible design benefits not only those with permanent disabilities, but also people using mobile devices, individuals with temporary impairments like, for example, a broken arm, and older users with age-related conditions. So the principles of web accessibility are rooted in the universal design, an approach that makes a digital experience flexible and inclusive. Therefore, websites that follow accessibility guidelines can reach a broader audience, improved SEO, and enhance usability for all users. So, as developers and designers, incorporating accessibility from the beginning ensures that products are more usable and compliant with the standards like the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, that is WCAG. So what is WCAG? Web Content Accessibility Guidelines is the globally recognized standard for making web content accessible. Published by the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, WCAG or the WCAG provides a framework to ensure digital content is usable by individuals with visual, auditory, motor, and cognitive disabilities. And these guidelines focus on four core principles known as POUR. The first one is being the perceivable, which means that the information must be presented in ways that users can recognize. This includes providing text alternative for non-text content, captions for videos, and ensuring content is distinguishable through color and contrast. And the second one is operable, meaning users must be able to navigate and interact with content. So this means supporting keyboard navigation, ensuring sufficient time for interaction, and designing content that doesn't cause the seizures, for example. And the third one is understandable. Content should be readable, basically, and predictable and easy to comprehend. With clear instructions, consistent navigation on the pages, and input assistance contribute to better usability, for example. And the fourth point is the robust. Content must be compatible with various technologies, including assistive technologies like screen readers. And to achieve this, using semantic HTML and following best practices in ARIA, which is our accessible rich internet application, ensures better accessibility. So WCAG is an evolving standard document with 2.1 being widely adopted and WCAG 2.2 bringing additional enhancements. And these guidelines help organizations create more inclusive digital experience. Moving on, accessibility guidelines are broken down into three levels of conformance to accommodate different accessibility needs. The very first one is the level A, which is the basic, covers the most essential accessibility features. This is level A has 30 success criteria with a minimum requirement for basic accessibility. And level AA recommend addresses a broader range of accessibility barriers, and it's most commonly adopted standards for organizations. And this level ensures good usability for users with disabilities. And it has 20 additional success criteria, making a total of 50 for A and AA combined. Level AAA, which is the advanced, has 28 additional success criteria. And this is the highest level, offering the best accessibility but often impractical for all content types. So most businesses and government agencies are currently aiming for WCAG 2.1 level A and AAA conformance, which includes requirements like the color contrast, keyboard navigation, and adaptable content. So making these standards help prevent legal issues and enhance usability for all users. So there are four broader types of disabilities that basically broken down into one being the visual disability, auditory, motor skills, and cognitive. Visual disabilities like includes blindness, low vision, and color blindness. Users rely on screen readers in these situations, magnifiers, and high contrast settings. Accessible design includes proper color contrast, alternative text for images, and resizable text. For the auditory disabilities, users who are deaf or hard of hearing requires captions or transcripts for multimedia content. And providing these closed captions, sign language interpretation, and text-based alternative ensures accessibility for people with auditory disabilities. The third one is motor skills. People with limited movement may struggle with the mouse or a touch gestures. Ensuring full keyboard accessibility, like the having a larger click targets and support for adaptive technologies like eye tracking or voice control, help these users navigate effectively. And the fourth one is the cognitive disabilities, which is conditions such as dyslexia, autism, or memory impairment can make complex interactions overwhelming. So providing a clear language, predictable layout, and input assistance like the autocomplete improved accessibility for these users. So by designing with these disabilities in mind, digital experience become more user friendly for everyone. So what are assistive technologies, and what does it helps people with disabilities, various disabilities? So assistive technologies help bridge gap between digital interfaces and users with disabilities. So these technologies are categorized into input devices and output devices. The input devices, for example, speech recognition software, which allows users to control a computer and dictate text using their voice. And then there are alternative keyboards designed for users with mobility impairment, featuring large keys, customizable layouts, or one-handed operations. And then there are eye tracking systems, and adaptive mice and joysticks, and then there are braille keyboards. Specialized keyboards allow visually impaired users to input text using braille characters. Some of the examples of output devices are the screen readers, which converts the text into speech or braille. Example: JAWS, NVDA, and VoiceOver are the main screen readers that company or the organization uses these days. Then comes the screen magnifiers, which enlarges text and images for users with low vision. Refreshable braille displays converts digital text into braille characters for tactile reading. There's another one which is called text to speech TTS software, reads out text for users with dyslexia or visual impairments. So now ensuring web content is compatible with these technologies greatly helps, enhances the accessibility for people with various disabilities. Moving on, we have a list here which outlines common accessibility issues. And according to DQ, 95% of the accessibility issues stem out just 16 WCAG access criteria. One of the most common issues is low contrast, which makes text difficult to read for users with visual impairments. And contrast minimum requirement is WCAG 2.1, which calls for 4.5:1 contrast ratio for small text, which satisfies the level AA success criteria, and 3:1 contrast ratio for large text, which is the 18-point regular for or 14-point bold. And 7:1 contrast ratio for small text, which is level AAA, recommended for enhanced readability. If you look at an example here, the gray text on a light gray background may seem stylish, but it fails accessibility checks. Instead, choosing high contrast color combinations ensures better readability. So according to W3C 2.1, the total number of success criteria at each level of conformance is level A, level AA, and level AAA, which we have already discussed in our previous slides. 2.1 level A remains the widely adopted standard for most organizations. One of the key topics to cover here is very important to know from an accessibility perspective is the accessibility tree and how it works. So the accessibility tree and the DOM tree. So web browsers automatically convert the DOM, which is the document object model, into accessibility tree, which provides structured information to assistive technologies. The DOM tree represents the structure of a web page, including HTML elements, attributes, and content. And the accessibility tree extract relevant information like roles, labels, and states, and makes it available to assistive technologies through the accessibility API. For example, if you have a button element in an HTML, it should have a clear label so that the screen reader can announce it properly. Similarly, headings should follow a logical structure as well. If you have an H1, then you followed with H2 and H3 to help users navigate content properly. So having proper semantics will also help ensures that the accessibility tree accurately represent the page. The next is 1.3.1 info and relationships. So according to 131 info relationship, level A, ensuring that information structure and relationships are programmatically determinable in crucial for accessibility. WCAG success criteria, which is 131, requires that content is structured visually, such as headings, lists, and tables, and form controls. They must also be correctly structured in underlying code so the technologies can interpret them properly. For example, sighted users can rely on visual clues like bold headings, indentation, or spacing to understand the hierarchy of information. However, some of the screen readers rely or voice recognition requires properly structured markup to navigate effectively. So in this example, that what we see here is an incorrect or improper use of there is a bold B is used for instead of a heading, proper heading for here, and the correct usage is also shown in the example below. Is an H1 Web Accessibility Handbook, and H2 as an introduction, and P is a paragraph. With this handbook provides guidance on making web. So that's how the proper structure has to be put in place for screen readers to read the content properly. Using semantic HTML ensures that screen readers announces headings properly and allow users to jump sections between sections efficiently. The next is the 1.1.1 non-text content, level A again. So according to this guideline, ensures that all non-text content such as images, charts, icons, and multimedia has a text alternative that conveys equivalent information. And the purpose is to make digital content accessible to users who are blind or have low vision or use alternative methods of accessing the content or the web. In this example here, informative images and all text, let's say we have an image of a bar chart showing quarterly sales, and the image just there's no alt text in the image, and it does not explain anything to the screen reader user, and it would announce as image sales chart .png, which provides no meaningful information. And the correct usage will be providing an alt text here, as you can see in the example, bar chart displaying quarterly sales with the Q1 500 units and so on. So a screen reader user receives the same information as the sighted user. In this slide, what we are seeing is the overview of accessibility tools. So to identify and fix accessibility issues, developers and designers can use the various tools such as the color contrast analyzers, which verify sufficient contrast between text and background. Wave is another tool, browser extension that highlights accessibility errors. Axe, an automated testing tool for accessibility audits, and Accessibility Insights provide guided checks for web application. JAWS and NVDA are the screen readers used for manual testing. So automated tools can quickly detect common issues, but manual testing is equally important as well. Testing with a keyboard, screen reader, and different assistive technologies provide a comprehensive view of accessibility barriers. Here are some of the additional tools and browser extensions and their descriptions listed here for you to review and do your own research if you want, whichever you want to use in your projects. Now I will open the floor for questions, and I am already seeing many questions in the chart. I will answer each questions one by one. And if you have any questions, you can start posting in the chat as well.